AEW is just better than WWE. People can disagree all they want. People can say that it's a lie. People can say that it's disingenuous, but it is the truth. If you're looking for the quality in a professional wrestling program, if you are looking for the creative fortitude that it requires to be a top professional wrestling program throughout the globe, AEW is the bar. Right now, AEW has been on a roll throughout the year of 2025, ever since they started to engage with the Hangman Adam Page storyline. It feels like they have been hitting on all cylinders, and All In was this major moment where it felt like AEW was finally on the right track back, with Hangman Page winning the AEW World Championship, the end of the Death Rider storyline. But then Forbidden Door, I think, is the affirmation that we are truly in not only a new era for AEW, but another chapter in professional wrestling. Because for the past couple of years, ever since Triple H took over WWE back in 2022, it felt like the perception was that WWE had overtaken AEW so far as quality goes, that WWE was not only the number one company and the industry leader that we all know it to be from a business standpoint, but the quality of program was just far superior. The Bloodline storyline, Gunther's title reign with the Intercontinental Championship were just a few examples of how well WWE was doing. But with AEW at the time, it felt like they were trying to figure out what their next step was going to be. They were coming off of PR disasters like the Brawl Out situation back at All Out 2022, and we didn't know which direction the company was going to go in. You combine that with the fact that the MJF Adam Cole stuff and the Devil storyline really left a bad taste in people's mouths. It took a while for them to win the fan support and the perception war back, and I think they have done so in full force after Forbidden Door, because Forbidden Door wasn't only one of the most spectacular pay-per-view events of the year, if not the best pay-per-view of the year. It was a statement by AEW that not only are they not going away, but they are setting the bar for what it means to be a pro wrestling company in 2025. From great matches to impactful returns to great storytelling pieces, Forbidden Door had everything you would want, and it was the epitome of a great pro wrestling show. And you just oppose this to an event like WrestleMania or an event like SummerSlam, it is quite frankly unfair to compare those two events. And I think it's unfair because WWE is simply not on AEW's level right now. There are aspects of WWE that are very good. I think that the women's division especially has proven that they are carrying not only just themselves, but the entire company right now. But creatively, WWE is in a rut that I haven't seen from them in a while, and I think the honeymoon with Triple H is by far over. It used to be the case that you saw Triple H booking a card and you thought it was going to be one of the best things you'd ever seen. It was going to have spectacle, it was going to have good wrestling, it was going to have a little bit of everything. But ever since the beginning of 2024, we have seen that WWE has relied on a formula that doesn't work, and that they have gone back to certain things that would happen under the Vince McMahon era, such as having storylines develop on TV, but then just dropping them completely, such as the recent quote-unquote breakup of Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, the New Day storyline, and of course the John Cena heel turn. I could go on for days about that, but at the end of the day, WWE creatively is just not only not where it needs to be, it is so far behind AEW, a company that not only has told the story of the redemption of Hangman Adam Page, but the run that Tony Storm is on, the Death Riders reinvigorating themselves through the beatdowns of the likes of Will Ospreay and Samoa Joe, to Ricochet even coming back after the Hurt Syndicate, after they humiliated him the previous year. And it just, again, is not on the same level. I think that AEW is running away with it, and it's not even close. It was a question a couple of months ago, and certainly both companies were heading in different directions, but I think it's pretty clear now. I think AEW, from a storyline perspective, but also definitely from an in-ring perspective, they've always been better in the ring as far as the actual urgency and competitive nature that requires a professional wrestling match in 2025 to be. They are the litmus test, they are the bar, they are everything that I have said before. And most importantly, right now, I think AEW is building up a lot of goodwill with fans. At the same time, WWE is losing a lot of goodwill with fans. WWE is not only in a creative rut where they are dropping storylines left and right, where they are booking for moments over actual storylines, actual matches, and focusing on what is going to create buzz rather than actually bring people to their television show. There's a reason why the global Netflix number of live viewers for Monday Night Raw right now is right around 3 million, which is not that far off from where they were. And everyone thought this Netflix deal was going to change everything. And yet here we are, and the results are what they are. At the same time, WWE has gone to great lengths to alienate certain members of their fan base through actions such as bringing back Brock Lesnar, someone who was at least implicated in the Vince McMahon scandal. And also on top of it, they decided to have a major tribute show to Hulk Hogan without really talking about the big elephant in the room, the big racist elephant in the room, if you will. And on top of it, the recent action by Triple H to join Trump's fitness council, of course, has led to a lot of blowback in itself. And there is a lot of bad PR in WWE is what I'm trying to say. And at the same time, AEW, it feels like, is benefiting from very little bad PR. And that used to be the big thing about the company. They were always going to be in their own way, yet now they are heads down, it feels like, and just booking great TV. And I think it's something that Tony Khan has learned over the past few years. It used to be the case that Tony would go off on press conferences and go off on WWE and talk about how crappy their business moves are. And now it feels like he's just focused on doing what he needs to do to tell good stories. And I think they need to stay the course if they want to try to keep up this positive perception, especially during a time where WWE is not cooking creatively or honestly morally at this point. But in the end, I guess we'll see.